Hello, hello, hello. I've been waiting on people to join, and it's been telling me there's nobody here, and one person and everything else. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello, hello. Let me know if everybody can hear me. Oh, I don't remember what I was trying to do on my phone. Oh, I knew what I was going to do. Trying to turn my Wi-Fi off and put there we go, hotspot. Okay. Hopefully it won't kick me out again. So how is everybody? Hey, Miss Carrie. Let me highlight all the comments and say hey to everybody before we get started. I'm sorry it took me a little bit longer. You guys, in the Asia degree case, there is not one, not two, not three, not five, not seven, but eight search warrants served on properties belonging to Mr. Roy and Connie Dedmond and children. That is just kind of blew my mind. Hey, Miss Carrie, how are you today? And hey, Mouth of the South. Okay. And again, Carrie. Miss Sadie girls. I'm that bee mama bear. Trying to get everybody's comments highlighted. Hello to yeah, okay. I was really surprised that more people hadn't discussed what the search warrants actually revealed to, and there is let's see, today was the first day of the Young Dolph trial in Tennessee, and I don't think that one's going to be as long. It's just interesting. They gave a limited instruction. The prosecution asked for it, and the judge allowed it. A limiting instruction to talk about any criminal activities before or after the unaliving of Dolph. And I'm trying to think how to say it in YouTube friendly terms. Long story short, a lot of legal analysts and everybody else are saying that they feel like the reason that the prosecution asked for that to be given is because there's a RICO coming for CMG. Basically, anybody that's watched the Thug trial, Dolph is nut, CMG is thug, I guess is the best way I could, kind of describe it to anybody. You got young Dolph and Yo Gotti, who actually had ties to Rich Homie Quan, small world type situation. They played the video inside the cookie store for the first time. I may get that pulled up and let people watch that. None of the witnesses, it's kind of weird. They're like showing their feet and knees of the witnesses in that trial. Nobody that's a witness will actually be seen. Let's see. I'm trying to change my banner right now, you guys. There we go. Sorry, remove from list. Okay. Just looking at options. I'm not used to Restream. I'm having to get used to it again. Anyway, I don't know who of y'all have been, or which of y'all, or if any, have been keeping up with what's been going on with the P. Diddy case. Just an update. I think everybody knows for now the third time he's been denied bail. And let me, or bond, however you want to put it, let me say this. Why is the federal government going to take any of his real estate, aka real property, as bond monies, or put up as bond? And I asked that question because I've spoke to several court personnel on both sides of the fence, prosecution, defense, and even somebody that sat behind the bench as a judge. And what all of them told me is, in a case like the broad sweeping case that's been brought against him, more than likely the federal government and state of New York has already filed an injunction to bar him from being able to sell any of his properties. And why is that important? Long story short, more than likely, if he loses this case, they will seize those properties and auction, sell them off to pay the alleged victims and any fees and fines and stuff that he owes the court. I'm still stuck on the fact that they found 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. And if you didn't hear, that was in the triple digits of artificial man parts. Hundreds, my understanding. Something that sounds like, let's make a deal, though. Hundreds. I'm sure I just like, that's just gross. I do want to show y'all something too about that. There's a lot of talk about Jonathan Oddie, but I haven't seen anybody actually bring up his paperwork and show that. And I don't know if y'all want me to do that first or show y'all the Asia degree stuff first, or Susan Smith. If somebody wants to vote in the chat, I am open. Let me see. I do find it quite, if I could see and spell it, probably would help y'all. I'm going to say this, and I've been saying this for well over a year. I think it's odd that somebody that was arrested in 2018, oh, I don't want a PDF file. Let's see. Let's see. That one says it's 2019. Active shooter, case information. Now, I know I've got how to find, I think it's this one. He's been held since May 21st, 2018 is the first indication I have of him being locked up. And he still hasn't gotten a bond, and he's still allegedly incarcerated. Let's see. I think it's this clerk of courts. If it's not, I know I've got it saved. Yeah, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, his next hearing date is 10/10/24. But I want to show y'all. Okay, I've got that pulled up. Come on. Okay, I've got the entire file folder, and I think people would be very, very, very surprised to actually see how many times his case has been to court and just continued since 2018. That's what, 6 years? 6 years of a continuance for his case. And still coming to court. Like, I think it's about once every 2.5, 3 months. It's really strange. Has anybody else had any thoughts on that? Or I'm trying to think what the wording is. A lot of people, some have said that he's deceased. That and there was, and it has not been corrected, I will say this, the Attorney General had posted a notice of deceasement, I guess is the way I need to say it for YouTube purposes, on their, I guess, the like public forum website where you can get public info or whatever. And when contacted, they were like, no, that was a mistake, blase, blase. But they've never corrected that mistake. So I honestly don't know how one would take it. You know what I mean? Like, waiting on some feedback. Okay. Well, I just posted on the social media that we are live. Now, if I can just get Restream to come up. It says there's 6 people, but nobody's commenting. Okay. Give me a 1 if you want me to show you the court record from Jonathan Ottie's case from the 2018 to present day. Real quick, it's one long document. A 2 if you want to look at Asia Degrees first. A 3 for Susan Smith, and a 4 for Project 2025. I'll let y'all choose the topics in the order we're doing. And if nobody doesn't comment, I guess it's up to me to choose. It says that y'all were here. Everybody's here. I know a lot of people are saying that Cassie is the only victim that they have. That's all they put out in the indictment, was most of her claims, because it's already been proven through video and things that's been put out there in the media. But I honestly don't believe. Got you, yeah, okay. Carrie says Susan Smith, yeah, okay, says Asia Degree. Hello, True Crime and Other Stuff. Welcome. Just to update you, True Crime, we're voting right now, and it's kind of tied at this point. One is for me to show you the court record so that we can together voice our opinion, I guess, on is this individual basically an informant in witness protection type situation, or have they just got lost in the system? And it's the Jonathan Audie. I can also play part of that interview again in this live stream if you guys want it. But that's one. And two is Asha Degree. Thank you, yeah. 3 is Susan Smith. And 4 is Proposition 2025. And I'm giving everybody that's in the chat a chance to vote real quick. And right now, it's a tie between Asia Degree and Susan Smith. So, anybody that wants to vote and break the tie. We're going to be on a 1 minute timer. I'm still so mad. I can't stand it. That YouTube is terrible. It's not sending out notifications for live streams at all. I mean, I'm not getting them for channels that I watch, like Mama Bear's channel. I'm not been getting hers. And I even went back and re-rang my bell. Make sure that you guys, if you don't mind, I only ask, I'll try not to ask more than once or twice more throughout the whole stream. But if you guys can, please check to make sure that you are subscribed. YouTube has been kind of mass unsubscribing people. And please also make sure that you ring the bell, because if you don't ring your bell, they will unsubscribe you, usually in 72 hours. And hit the thumbs up. Just look at it like ringing the doorbell and wiping your feet as you enter somebody's house. That's what I tell you. Whatever. I will say too, I was going to comment on that True Crime. I know, and there's another one. She was in Danity Kane and then Dirty Money, Dawn Richards, that recently came out. And of course, Aubrey O'Day. There's, at this point, the prosecution for New York in the P. Diddy case is saying they've interviewed and spoken with over 33 victims and over 50 witnesses. I will tell you guys, in my opinion, and from all the research I've been able to do, I wanted to tell you guys that I personally believe don't waste your money on that Kim Porter book that's coming out if anybody's interested in it. I've seen it. The people that really would know when it comes to her are saying that's not her. That's not, that somebody's got portions and that they've added to it. And then the author, when you really look into this guy, he's had multiple lawsuits for doing the same sort of thing, for looking and snatching headlines, putting them together, And rather than calling it there's like fictional nonfiction or something, I can't remember what it's exactly called, but where do you take real events and you add to them. My opinion, that's a line, but hey. And they did open up the phone lines in court, so I'm telling you, it's going to be more, because the judge was already receiving calls and emails before they put out a number to contact if you had something that you felt was relevant to the case. So those of you that are commenting about it right now, here's a question that I have. Have any of y'all heard of Jonathan Oddie and who he is? And what his role is in this case? One is yes, two is no on this. The reason I'm asking is he worked doing corn, as they say, with the P, in Miami-Dade, Florida area. During the time that Diddy and Cassie were together. I showed the video quite a while back. I can pull it up and show y'all some snippets as a refresher if I need to. But long story short, in 2018, he's the one that ran in Mar-a-Lago, Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate, and started pew-pewing the place up and draped an American flag. And drew the police in and pew-pewed it with them. He got pew-pewed himself, of course. And while he was in the hospital, I've heard some people, Jesse Weber on Law and Crime said that, or his guest said that it was the Secret Service that was interviewing Jonathan Oddie. I'm going to pull that video up. I see a lot of y'all saying you don't know about it. It's kind of funny too, and we'll play it fast where he's running through. It is kind of laughable. A lot of people have played it. I'd like to find the original version, but it's what it is. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do police interview maybe. I don't want to get everybody else on YouTube's videos. That is not... Oh, it's going to make me mad. Okay. Oddie. Interview. See, people's witness protection pops up real quick when y'all pull it up. Let's see. This is the one that I had it with. Okay. Y'all just bear with me. I'm getting it pulled up. But anyway, he worked for a company called Dancing Bear also as a mix worker. And I say it that way because, YouTube won't let me say the other word. It was a website where you went on to procure ex-workers, if y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm pulling this up right now. Just bear with me. I'm about to share a screen and let y'all see the video. What I want... Oh, I'm sorry, True Crime. Mine expired on the channel. I got mine for free too, so I feel you. What I want to focus on in showing this, and I know a lot of y'all, if you're following this case, have probably seen it all over the interwebs, previously. I talked about it. Goodness, it was well over a year ago. when I spoke about it the first time and pulled his video up. I may have to make it a certain size to satisfy the YouTube lands. Um, but when I spoke about his interview and what was going on and what he said, now what's interesting that a lot of people are not telling you guys, and I can pull it up if anybody wants me to prove it. But Dancing Bear website was under a huge investigation involving, and I don't want to say involving law enforcement and political officials in Florida. I don't want to give a specific area because I don't want to say the wrong one, but within Florida. Um, Logging in to the Dancing Bear website and communicating from their work computers, laptops, and phones. Um, it was a big, huge investigation and scandal. Okay. So, him saying that he worked for them and he had not one, not five, but 15 encounters with P. Diddy and Cassie. He brought up P. Diddy, he brought up Cassie, he brought up DJ Khaled, he brought up Rick Ross, the alcohol companies that Diddy was working with and for. And again, all of this is at least 5+ years before Cassie put her lawsuit out there. Before we ever heard a whisper of anybody even thinking about possibly, maybe someday, suing P. Diddy. I know I don't understand that either, true crime. If the news clips up on YouTube, it's monetized and it's good, right? And I can replay that same news clip. It's not a copyright issue because I distort it or speed up or whatever. But I get demonetized if for them saying shit, I got demonetized. But they can say GD and I can be monetized. It's just like there was like 3 seconds of an instrumental song that played somehow during one of my live streams recently. So I went and muted it, right? Prior to muting it, it had the green dollar symbol, which means it's ad appropriate and everything else. And that person had claimed it and they were going to get paid anything that I made, right? So I muted that. It took their copyright off and put the monies to go back to me. How about they turned the dollar sign yellow? So that 3 seconds of an instrumental song made it more acceptable to advertisers. Is that what they're saying? I'm confused. I have learned how to fight and make a real person review, because anything that I've done with District Attorney Fani Willis's name typed in it automatically gets demonetized because they're thinking I'm talking about a rear end because it's an AI system. Okay, I've got this video queued up. The first part, I'm not going to play with sound, simply because they've got music in the background and I know it. But I'm going to see if it won't let me make sure they're on. Okay, I'm going to have the whatchamacallits, the captions on. And I'm not going to mute. I don't think it. I don't think it'll echo. We'll see. Okay, what you're seeing when this originally comes up is an area right off of the main entrance in Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort. And you're about to see why he got arrested in the first place. So anybody needs a chuckle, here it comes. That's Mr. Audie right there. I don't know if y'all can see it, but he is high stepping. Okay, hold on. I hope. Let's see. Let me fix the speed. Let's speed it up just a notch. And I'll put the sound on in just a second, you guys. But this is the beginning. This little prank video, it looks like right here, where he's sliding across and running through. Originally, that's pretty much all you saw on the news, you know. And nobody until Cassie's lawsuit came out. Nobody was talking about him. Nobody had found him. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, at least the first person that I saw on YouTube covering this and talking about it was Tisa Tales. That's the first person I saw with this video. And you see it says up here, interrogation of Rump. Can't say his name either. Wonder who runs this platform. Doral Pupur, Jonathan Odie. And I really want everybody to listen, because there's some things that nobody's put out there that he talks about in this interview. He talks about how he sued P. Diddy. Funny thing to me, the two lawyers' names that he gives are the lawyers that Diddy had prior to then and during that time. And also, if you don't believe that he sued him and won that lawsuit, then you might want to look at his finance, because he had a negative balance in the month preceding the time that he says that he settled that lawsuit and won that money. And I believe it to be true, because he purchased almost $500,000 worth of property within 40 days of the date he's saying that he received that payment from that lawsuit. His ex-wife was an attorney. That's a deep hole to go down right there. Okay, I'm going to mute and let this play. Please, y'all, don't forget to comment so I can know what you're thinking.
He's going crazy with that. It's not.
And he did it?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Got it. He's a harm supporter. Okay.
Who supported?
That's why he's going crazy with that. It's not that he's not legitimate. Gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross,
Yeah.
and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Got it. News. Not that he's not to the American people. About the Stormy situation, okay?
So you don't have,
Time in the United States?
yeah.
Just my dog Bubbles. My
Just your
sister.
dog?
Yeah. Diddy's and Ross, which are good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Now, like I said, on another network, which is a widely recognized network, it stated that oh my gosh, I forgot what I was about to say. It stated that the Secret Service is who was questioning him. As I understand, it was local law enforcement here questioning. Now, Secret Service may have joined at a later time during the interview. They may have questioned him at a later date and a later time. But this particular interview, as I understand, was local law enforcement to the Mar-a-Lago area. Okay, back to the video.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No.
Hamas supporter, okay?
Right.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard.
Okay, now remember, this interview is from 2018. Cassie's lawsuit came out November 2023. 5.5 years after this interview. And he don't look like much here. I'm going to tell y'all, okay, and we're going like, who would order him up? Who would want him, right? I mean, let's keep it a band. But there, and if I can find them, I will pull them up and show y'all if you want to see them. There are pictures, still shots of him on the Corn set and some other acting roles and whatnot that he did previously. And he looked a little bit better than here. He's had a rough day. He's got shot several times. As you can see, he's in a hospital gown and in a room somewhere in the hospital getting interviewed by the popo. He's under arrest, I would say. So he's probably not having a great day right now.
A lot.
Hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever you call yourself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people.
Well, I think that they just told us who it was. It's the FDLE who is doing the interrogation, it says. So there you go. Also, let me say this. A lot of people have gotten something confused. He talks about the boule. A lot of people have it with the bull. The bull is a thing, it's either Yale or Harvard, one of those schools. The boule is the African American sector of the Illuminati, allegedly. All things shown and expressed in all formats are strictly the thoughts and opinions of this channel, to be taken and used for entertainment purposes only. Say that again. Yeah, not his finest hour. You right about that one.
Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay, you're my brother, so I like black people.
Okay.
My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a.
That must be the South African version of, I'm not racist, I have black friends. Just saying, that's what came to my mind. I have to do transformative educational content, so let me educate. If you have to preface something by saying I'm not this or I'm not that, Usually that means that you're about to say something that sounds that way, or that's who you are really. I'm just, in my opinion only, but hey, okay. I want everybody to really listen to what he says. And then I'm going to show you the paperwork and why I've come to the conclusion I've come to. The, the Young Thug trial, okay, for instance, they've been in jail during the trial. It's been over 2 years, okay. P. Diddy's being held in custody until his trial, and it could be a couple years, real talk. This man, um, this man shot objects and caused property damage and then pew-pewed at the popo, and that's why he's in jail. Still, over 5 years later. He's had, I know, his first hearing with his attorney there. His attorney cut his mic. It was pretty funny. I don't know if that'll be in this or not. I found it elsewhere on the interwebs a while back. And he says, yeah, I pulled the fire alarm. I wanted the police to come. And that's actually admitting a crime because he's saying he falsely pulled the alarm. Okay, back to the video.
Sir, but she was she, took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean, okay, against Donald Trump, okay, because he used to belong to their side. You understand? He used to belong to that illuminated group that I told you about, which is an elite group, okay, of individuals which run the whole country. All right.
All right.
Basically,
he just said, for those of you that might have missed it, that Trump used to be in that group, but he's no longer in it. It's an elite group of individuals that run the whole country. And apparently Diddy and them are involved.
what I did you tell him did you explain him about the message?
No, please, elaborate.
On Thursday, turning to Friday, basically, I went to Donald Trump. I went through the gates. I took I jumped the fence. I took the American flag from the front desk and I blew the chandelier. Basically, what I did that for is to transmit a statement to the American people and to Donald Trump that we're not accepting any more corruption and abuse from their system of France. Okay? Donald's still blind because he thinks that he let Hillary off the hook and she's okay. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm trying. Okay, keep going.
It ain't like that. The CIA and then they want to do the same thing that he did to JFK. Okay?
All right.
Why? Because they want the United States to fall. They've already been creating a state of chaos and confusion in the United States, and they want the United States to fall. Donald was against their agenda and won the presidency.
Pretty much true crime and other stuff. Best way I can describe it, honestly, is I think they took him as a wackadoodle, probably sent him for mental evaluation and whatnot. That being said, I don't know if this is going to have that part, but there's a part during this interview where he's talking about the Illuminati and the Boule and Trump and all the and Clinton and everybody being involved, and it's collusion, whatever. He also starts talking about they have a game that they play, and the rich people get together, and depending on what happens in the game is what they decide to do that year or whatever. That being said, it sounds crazy, but it is real. It's kind of like, I can't remember what it was called. I read the article on it a long time ago, and like Rockefeller, Vanderbilt, one of those names, was who created the game. And it literally came up with different like political and foreign, like foreign relations type questions and embargo questions, oil, that kind of questions. And they did cards almost like a combination between Monopoly and Life. They literally tried to mass market the game and it failed. It was a huge failure. It was actually a toy website where I found the info about the game. But it's kind of weird. And I mean, it's a conspiracy theory. I get it. And I think they wrote off everything he was saying and didn't listen to a point. Somewhere, somebody down the line did listen, in my opinion. And I want to finish letting him talk, and then I'm going to show y'all the court docket. I have never in my life seen a case where they didn't put it on a dead docket, dismiss it, whatever. The Attorney General put out a memo that he was deceased. And he's had probably 15 court appearances since then. 5 or 6 different prosecutors. You'll see. It's very documented. It's never been a jury selection, never been a like opening statement. Nothing. I don't know that he's even got to plead out at this point. 5.5 years later. And it's not saying that he's in the mental ward. Not saying he's getting any kind of psychiatric assistance. There's actually a facility he's supposed to be housed in. You can't write him. You can't set up core links. You can't set up Global Tel for the phone calls. None of that. I've tried. It's just a little off. Let's go back to this real quick.
Okay, he did get help from Russia. He did get help from the Saudis. He also got help from a lot of Republicans in here, which is the electoral college vote. And he got a lot of support from Republican people. Okay. The elections, yeah, they weren't fair, but he won the electoral college vote.
Right.
Which is the Republican vote, basically, got him through, okay? He didn't get the popular vote, okay?
Right. I hear you.
So basically, the interior, he made it. He's president-elect by the electoral college. So he made it. The situation is that he still hasn't kicked out the corruption from the system. He's letting them stay due to money, basically. Because they all like making money. That's why they're all billionaires, etc. So there's only there's select few that run the country, okay? So I know you may or may not. I know you're gonna believe me. You have what's called the Illuminati.
Illuminati. Okay.
Yeah, Illuminati. Okay. They've made it in dance. Basically, what it means, illuminated.
I got you.
Okay. They do satanic ritual abuse, which is basically CIA mind programming techniques to their own family, kids, etc. in the group, and they bond that way. Okay. So they do sexual pedophilia. They do animal abuse, killing of animals, blood sacrifices, and everything in the Bohemian Grove. Okay.
Right.
The Bohemian Grove, the bushes go there.
Now, commentary. He's talking about they bond that way. They do this, they do that. I can't repeat it because YouTube will smack me down. But let me say this. We have learned through the indictment that was issued for P. Diddy, Love, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, however you want to say his name, whichever one, the 19,000 you want to use. It states that individuals were rugged, acts were performed and videotaped, and then later those were used to say, basically I'll blackball you. You won't get anywhere. You won't have, your career's done if you don't continue to do this or do what I say. Sometimes it was willingly, and sometimes they were rugged, male and female. And I want to say this: a lot of people's like, just like he said, the LBGTQ and plus community, and I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, I apologize. I don't mean any. Um, I don't mean it in a bad way. I'm just old and don't know how to say it right. But I don't think for someone like Diddy, in my opinion, I don't think it's gay or straight. I don't think it's about identifying. I think it's about power. And those of us that are in here that are survivors will understand that more than anybody. The SA, the physical A, like we saw outside the elevator with Cassie, and like, what's described and videotaped and then used against people, or getting someone who, like a male who is heterosexual to perform an act that is against their wishes, desires, moral beliefs, whatever. It's about power. That's what gets his rocks off, in my personal opinion, is it doesn't matter if it's male, female, cat, dog, mushroom. That's not important. What to him is important is that he is important enough. He is powerful enough. He has that leverage to make people do things they wouldn't or wouldn't want to do. That's outside of their norm. And that's the thrill. In my personal opinion, it's about power and control, which we as survivors know that those individuals that are perpetrators of acts, generally it's about control. And what is control over somebody? That's power. It's about having that control and that power over another person, especially if you feel you are out of control or that someone else is controlling you. And I really think that this is a situation, also understand it stated in the indictment for him that he often used his influence and power and position and connections to coerce actions. And another point that I also wanted to make before I lose it again is it was stated specifically in the indictment by two separate witnesses that anyone that was in that group that participated in those things that was in the know had to participate slash do, I guess it'd be the proper word, to acts themselves. Whatever they were illegal acts. That was to prove loyalty, but that's to also be able to say that, say you got 20 people in this group, they're all doing the same thing, right? Can't nobody tell on the other because they're all equally guilty. They've all done the same thing. You can't tell on me you did that with Sally Sue. I did it with Jimbo, and You did it with Jim and Sally. You understand what I'm saying? Plus, it's on videotape. And all the sources that I have out there are telling me that they got them tapes. And I will say this, multiple, multiple profilers and veterans of law enforcement agree on one thing, that the type of perpetrator that he is keeps those videos around, one, as insurance policy, and two, to relive those moments. That moment of elation, that moment of that thrill, that moment of feeling that control over someone else. Hey, Miss Susan, welcome. Which, again, as survivors, I think we can, those of us that are, we can all identify with that, you know? It's a huge thing. But I think it's very important to know. So, oh yeah, true crime, they're already saying that's a possibility. He's on the self unaliving watch already. But I'm going to tell you this, he ain't got the kahunas to do it to himself. Take that however you want to. Diddy don't have the kahunas to unalive himself. He just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. And he didn't think they were going to pick him up when they did. Because in the paperwork from where they picked him up and they searched his room, he had rugs in his room, that pink Tukey stuff or whatever it's called. I can't remember. I don't know how to say it right. Tunchi, Tukey, whatever. I've never heard of it. Some kind of pink powdery stuff, they said. But he had that along with some other Uggs. And I think one thing a lot of people are just glossing over because they're going with the sensational stuff. Nah, he didn't. I agree with you on that one. Everybody seems to be focusing on all the sensational stuff with Diddy, but there's one big, huge thing that nobody seems to have heard. They were several ARs, I think it's AK-15s or AR-15s, something like that, with scratched off serial numbers found, along with a barrel and extendo mag and other parts. I think 3 altogether that weren't legal. That's a huge felony. Because that one barrel clip holds 59 pew-pews. I can't say that word on YouTube. They'll hit me. But holds 59 in it. The other 2 extendos, I think they said were like 15, 17 clips. But, and then like I said, there was a safe that had normal good ones that were legal and registered. But 3 AR type devices, automatics, with scratched off serial numbers. And 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. And more than 175 artificial man parts. I don't know how to say that in a YouTube friendly fashion, you guys. Let's make a deal, though. Yeah. Over 175. I still can't. And that's what everybody's focused on. The baby oil, the after dark supplies, and that kind of thing. But 650 watch hours. And you'll be monetized. Let me highlight. Everybody, don't forget, go over to True Crime and Other Stuff. Make sure you're subbed up to her and help her out. She needs 650 more watch hours, I think, to be able to get monetized. So, man, just hit the play all button and let it run through. If everybody in here will do that once, we can get her what she needs. Whenever I finish this live stream, I'll leave my laptop on your page and leave it running, playing. I know that sounds crazy, but it will help. Also, if you have other accounts, sign in to your other accounts and play it on multiple devices. It's one per device. I'm going to go back to the video now so we can catch the rest of the stuff that he's got to say. And then, like I said, I think it's really important to look at the court docket and documents that have been filed with his case. Thank you, Ms. Carrie, for posting her link. I appreciate that. You guys, Carrie Lawson just posted the link to True Crime and Other Stuff. Please make sure you go check in with her. All right, back to the video right quick.
George C. and George, both of them are in the same agenda. They cousins with the Clintons, okay? So is Donald Trump. He's also a distant cousin. So if you see, there's a direct correlation of the presence of the United States being bonded between family ties, okay? Gotcha. All these family ties.
Okay, I keep having to stop because I keep hearing stuff and I want to authenticate or non-authenticate. I will say that more than one genealogical study has been done, and every single president, even the one that at one time was said not, and I think it was Woodrow Wilson, every single president has been traced back to King John's lineage. Another genealogist did say that if we go far enough back in everybody's lineage, everybody's related to everybody. It may be true, but it is kind of quirky that they all are related to one King John, and he was sometime we might have to talk about him. He was an Andrew type in England. Okay, back to the video.
Wound up, go back to the same place, the royal family in England, okay? The family here of the Illuminati are descendants of the royal British family, okay? They have children between themselves. Why? Because they have that issue, you understand? They want like superiority of the race. Mm-hmm. They see it that way. But it backfires them because it makes them simple-minded. You understand? When you have sex with someone in your family, your kids are not going to come out small. You understand? They're going to come out dumb, all right? So Donald turned his back, but he's still trying to negotiate a peaceful way out, and they have an agenda to kill him, okay? Example, if you look at the Illuminati card games, example, okay? You look at the game, the Illuminati card game?
I'm not familiar with it, so help me understand.
It's a card game.
It's a card game.
That tells you
Okay, remember the card game that I was talking about a few moments ago, the Illuminati card game? He's about to explain it. And they think he's Looney Tunes. You can tell by the way they're acting and the way they're talking. But I'm here to tell you, there is an Illuminati card game. They don't call it the Illuminati card game. I forget what it's called. But, love it, True Crime. But here is what I was talking about a few moments ago. And I slowed it down so everybody can hear it, this part.
exactly what their agenda is.
Gotcha.
It's called mental pre-programming. That means that you predispose already, once you play this, your mind is already predisposed at this happening, and you accepting it. Okay? So they have a picture of Donald dead in that game.
Oh, okay.
Alright? I'm not crazy. They have the picture of Donald Trump. But they also had the Twin Towers. They had everything on
I
there.
got you.
Okay, from A to Z. So it's kind of like a hidden agenda, which they try to make it open to our eyes, but we really don't see it. We're so busy working.
It's kind of like hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy?
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever.
Okay, so I don't know if y'all heard that, but that's not. Of course, they didn't market it under that name, but it might be the Illuminati card game. It might be, but it's not the name he said. The mental predisposition. That was actually a theory that the CIA did experiments on when they were doing the mind control. My mind went blank. I could see the picture that looks like the Leonardo da Vinci guy. And please believe, if you think that they don't have mind control, has anybody seen the new crowd control device that they have that emits that piercing sound that immediately makes everybody stop what they're doing and grab your heads? Hello, that is real. Ask anybody in military or in police forces in larger metropolitan cities. It's real. I bet you if 10 years ago that I told you we'd have police officers that MK Ultra, thank you, True Crime, you are correct. If 10 years ago I was sitting on this platform telling you guys that New York City, Philadelphia, and several other large cities in America would have police officers that look like dogs, and the first one didn't even look like he had a head, that look like dogs out here working the street, y'all probably would have thought I was a Looney Tunes. Y'all would have wanted to call my family and check me into Broughton Mental Hospital right here near where I live. I don't want to go there. It's haunted. Please don't make me go. If I hadn't told you any of the stories of when I worked there building that new facility and what I've seen in the graveyard and everything else, we'll have to do a story time for that. Because let me tell you, I saw live and in person, and it wasn't even long story short, I'm doing work. It was nighttime. I had stayed over. It was dark. It was like got dark early time, it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock range. And I was in a part of the building where I was doing what they call dust down, where they just like put sinks and grout and tile and all that stuff in. And I'm wiping the stuff down and cleaning it up so they can come do the finishing stuff, and then I'll come back and finish it up later. Anyway, I kept hearing water running. And y'all know what it sounds like on a tile, like the old school big square tiles, not the little bitty ones. When somebody's feet's wet and they're running on that tile, it's that slapping splash sound. I kept hearing that, like somebody was running around in the bathroom on tile and in his hallway, but there was nobody on that hall, nobody in that section but me. Okay. And there's a stairwell at the end of that hallway. But I don't know if I should tell you that first or after. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, I kept hearing the water running, and it sounded like somebody was, and I'd hear a kid giggle, like a chuckle. And yes, there were children at that hospital. There were a lot. That hospital has a long, like 1780s history. As old, if not older than Dorothea Dix. Okay. It's been here forever. I have a theory about why this town has, in my opinion, a black cloud. Everybody makes fun of me for saying that I always have bad luck and everything. Yeah, listen, I went on trips, just like when I went to Summer's Vigil or when I went in the truck on a trip. I feel like I can breathe. I feel free and I feel relaxed and less stressed and less feeling. And you can feel it the closer you get. Like when you get within less than 50 miles, you can feel it. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry, y'all. I'm not the only person that says it or has felt it. There's multiple videos. Google or type in on YouTube, Broughton, Broughton. A lot of people say I'm trying to think, Bruton or Broughton, something like that. It's Broughton. Say it Southern. Brawton, Broughton. But it's spelled Broughdton. And I guess it's mental facility, located in Morganton, North Carolina. I mean, it's going to come up when you Google it anyway. But check it out. There's multiple videos. I can't think of that one lady's name. It's something. She's something mom, like Skull Mommy or something. But she goes around a different grave. Maybe it's Graveyard Mom. She goes around to different graveyards and does stuff. And her camera was glitching. You could see orbs. And I swear there was a part like where the camera glitched and it, I guess it's that overlap thing where you can see like three, scenes at once type thing. And hunty, you could see somebody standing there. And there was a one that kept calling her, and then like a gravestone. She was in the graveyard that's there. And a gravestone kept calling her over to it. And I watched another video, different dude. They didn't know each other, total different places in the country they're from and everything, right? That same headstone he was drawn to. There's a lot that are unmarked. When they originally put those graves in, they had little metal number stones or, rivet plates. And there's a book that tells who that is that matches that number, allegedly somewhere still. I've not seen it. I didn't see it when I worked there. But on that hall, sorry y'all, I'm trying to blow my nose quietly and I don't think it worked. One, it wasn't quiet, and two, I didn't get it all the way blowed out. But when I was on that hallway, a nurse, and it was a male nurse with short blonde hair, really heavy set. Oh, sorry. There was no smock. I'm getting chills right now telling y'all this story, real talk. I see what she said. I'm trying not to laugh. Came walking down the hall where I kept hearing the water, right? And it looked like they came from the end of the hall. Like, I didn't see them come up the stairwell from where I was at. I could see that doorway that led to the stairwell, but I didn't see them. I swear it looked like they came right in through the window, okay? And it was at the end of the hallway, the window. And this was the new facility. They tore down a lot, like bulldozed it down, and a lot of stuff happened. I'm not going to lie. Like, they found an Indian burial ground, a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, long story short, so here comes this blonde-headed man in a blue button-up, button-down collared shirt with the white long-sleeve smock and the weird paper cap that nobody wears anymore, like that they wore like in the 50s, 60s, nurses did. And these white pants and white nurses' shoes, and nobody there, not the nursing staff, nobody there. They just wore regular scrubs. But here comes this guy walking towards me because I'm at the what will be the nurses' station for that side of that hallway. Getting my equipment together because I was almost finished, and he literally just strolls right past me, stops. Hey, how are you today? And or hey, how are you? And I'm like, I'm fine. How you doing? Exhausted. Not ready for this. And then there's a big key ring with like a chain attached that he pulls up and is kind of just jingling as he takes a left and walks down the hallway, like takes a left to walk to the hallway that connects to the other side of that hall. It's kind of like a hospital, if that makes sense. Like if you're on the 500 hall, there's two ends of it. And he walked the connecting hallway, which took him to the older part that was being built onto. And I later was questioning my coworkers and some of the security staff when we were leaving. And one of the security guards started laughing and said, so you met our resident nurse ghost? And I'm like, what do you mean? Apparently, the person I described had been seen multiple times wandering the hallways in the old and new parts. And somehow there was a patient uprising, revolt, and that person allegedly was unalived in that area of the facility where I saw him. When I went down that hallway, by the way, and looked, there's only one way to get in and come up that hallway that they came from. It's a dead end, unless you go down the stairwell. Problem is, that stairwell was impassable. I know, first of all, nobody that size with that much girth, because I had a lot then and they were bigger than me. I mean, he was like 6 foot tall and probably about 360. Ain't no way that he got through that stairwell. Number one, the steps weren't in. It was like, if you know how it looks when they put the um, wooden pieces down each side and they're cut like um, zigzaggy, and they lay the steps on them and nail them down. It didn't have the across. It just had those zigzaggy steps on each side, and then what looked like some metal railing across and a do not enter sign, with like police tape type stuff. And that was it. There wasn't no way that they came up that hall. And I know they wasn't in them rooms. I just got done going through like all 6 of those rooms and cleaning them thoroughly. Bathrooms, there wasn't no furniture in them. They had just, I mean, a lot of them didn't even have toilets or sinks installed at this point. So, no. Yeah, crazy. I refuse to work on that. I refuse to work on that end of the hallway again unless somebody was there in tandem. I wanted a tag team partner. So one, people didn't think I was crazy, and so two, they didn't put me a room in there. I just knew they was gonna make me design my own room at that point in time. It was wild because during that time I was working first and sometimes part of second, depending on if um, I, w- I was working the construction crew for the New Broughton facility, and that was 6 days a week. And then 6 nights a week, I was working at Sagebrush up the street where they found Aisha Degree's bag. Um, Usually 5 or 5:30, I went in until close, bartending. And the one night a week that I was usually off on my job was Monday or Tuesday, and I'd pull a double at Broughton. I literally um, would park up at Sagebrush and have somebody drive me to Broughton and drop me off. And then when I get off at Broughton, I would walk up the like 6 blocks to Sagebrush and go to work and change my clothes and take his. My grandma used to call it. Was that a 403? Is that how you say it now? 403 bath, a bird bath, but a 403 bath. All right, let's go back to the end of this. Again, this game that he was just talking about really does exist and was in development and being marketed at the time he's talking about. And it's not something that was widely known. And he's getting ready to get into the Diddy part right here. And once that part's done, I'll probably just go off of this, show y'all the court documents, and then we'll start talking about Aisha Degree, go through those warrants, and then Susan Smith. Or I may do Susan Smith first, but I really wanted to show y'all archives and bring everybody up to date on her case. I just got to say once again, I'm so thankful to hear that David, the boy's father, and her ex-husband, husband at the time of the crime, is confirmed did an interview on News Nation. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. I'll try to put the link in the description box, saying that emphatically he was going to her parole board hearing and asked that she never be let out. And he also said that she had enough kahunas to ask him to either write, record, or personally speak on her behalf. B.I., you done lost your D mind. And it's not like she's been an exemplary prisoner either, honestly. As I understand, she's got caught with drugs on multiple occasions. She got caught having a affair with a guard, a phone, got multiple men's in the monies. Anyway, let's go back to this real quick.
Whatever you call yourself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay. You're my brother, so I like black people. Okay. My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant. She was she took care of me.
Right.
So I love black people. Okay. I had settlement with Sean, okay? And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the contracts. It's his attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes.
Just to let y'all know, both of those names that you just gave, Garagos and Mercedes, were his attorneys at the time. Matter of fact, we keep seeing the older gentleman with gray hair speaking for P. Diddy. But if you'll notice, there's a young girl with dark hair that'll be standing beside him and that's done multiple interviews on CNN and News Nation. That is also Diddy's attorney. She's co-counsel. And guess who her daddy is? Mark Garagos, who also used to intern at Bad Boy for P. Diddy while he was in law school. If you didn't know, now you know.
Ben Mercedes worked for Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years and worked for Hillary Rodman for 5. Okay? When I take Sean the threat of death on me, okay? I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything, okay? Right. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with people and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I
Right? I'll just wait. Yo, and he does have Garagos and Mercedes backwards, I think. Because I did do the research. You can see what it says in yellow on the screen. What's funny is either Cassie and her attorney had seen this and used this to write their lawsuit, or they're psychically linked. Now here comes the next part. The next like 2 minutes is going to probably, it blew my mind a year ago. So it probably is going, if y'all ain't seen this before, it might blow your mind.
I seen for no reason won, but they didn't. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with people and stuff, and I was like a sex slave. Okay, for them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I seen for no reason won, but they didn't.
So he just said he had an STD. I cannot say ERP, AIDS, allegedly. sued and won. There's no record of the suit. There's no record of the settlement. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. A lot of people wasn't reporting on things like that in 2018. Yep. Thank you, True Crime. I couldn't say it. A lot of people wasn't reporting on that back then. Yes, Mouth of the South. The beginning of the video, I showed why. He was at the Trump, Florida estate, Mar-a-Lago estates, and got in a firefight with police, got pew-pewed in the hospital, and he's being interviewed by the FDLE, I think's what it said, is who the officers are he's talking to. Anyway, what I was going to say, there's no record of that suit or settlement. And he's going to go on to explain why and several other things. Couple things to keep in mind while he's talking. One, his ex-wife is a lawyer, and he says that's who has the flash drive. Okay. Two, this man had a negative bank account, like negative $2,000 bank balance for at least 60 days prior to when he's saying he got the lawsuit settlement of over $4 million. And he proceeded to buy nearly $500,000 worth of property right around the time that he's saying the lawsuit settlement came through. Oh, and remember the allegations and alleged, in my opinion, ties that Diddy had to the FBI. I found his Article 40. I have that. I have the special FBI agent that picked him up in New York and took him to another one in Washington. And it's kind of weird, by the way. You good, Mouth South. Keep on keeping on. It's kind of odd that everything popped off with Diddy around 2.5, 3 years after that special agent with the Article 40 for Diddy, because he wasn't cooperating and they wanted him to cooperate, popped off. There's also charges from 1995 that are under seal for Diddy. Just saying. That's before Tupac.
Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible, like, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
It's possible, I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead to where Star from?
Okay.
The Mercedes family, Ben Mercedes, that works with Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos used to be Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he dropped Michael and they OD'd him, okay? He didn't overdose, they OD'd him. Because they keep the royalties of the music. Michael alone made $860 million alone last year, okay, in 2017. Which who keeps that royalty? The music companies. Who represents the media and entertainment in the United States? Most of them, Mercedes does. Kenny Mercedes, which is Greenman Mercedes child out of New York, okay? So what they've been doing is, they've been promoting a hate agenda against Trump. So people hate him, okay? Because they know he is very alpha, okay? Very alpha in the sense that he likes money, he likes to make money, and he likes women, and they know they want to defame in certain ways with Stormy, with other people, because they want him out of the government, okay? But it ain't happening because it's too smart for them. You understand what I'm saying?
You're trying to, right?
Don is intelligent. We have a similar type of intelligence and overview of things. The only thing is he's not seeing that Hillary is a distant cousin of his, and Obama have a different plan for him. Do you understand? No offense with Obama. I know each and every American, but he was part of that 9/11 agenda. He's a CIA agent, an ex-CIA agent. That's why there's so much identity issues with Obama. Who knows his real name? They say he was born in Indonesia and he's also born in Hawaii. Nobody knows. Why? Because he's an ex-CIA agent. Okay. Basically, Osama bin Laden never existed. It was the creation of the CIA, and it was Obama in a cave talking shit.
As you'll hear, he is repeating a whole lot of conspiracy theories. But as I've learned, through the Young Thug trial, through the Depp trial, through the Baldwin trial, and several others, when a suspect is giving a statement to law enforcement, a lot of times, like Woody called it, a finesse. It's just basically they're good liars. They keep a part of the truth interwoven through the fallacy. I sped it up to kind of get through some of this and back to, I'm hoping that this doesn't cut out where he tells the agenda, because it's been widely reported that the pink substance has a Miss Molly Mack, math, that ecstatic stuff, and sometimes the cocaina all mixed in it together. And I think that's important for what he tells is Diddy Ross and some of them's agenda. Let's see. I mean, 5.5 years before all this stuff came out, he's sitting here saying that he was a SEX worker / slave. He's describing the FOs that are in grand jury indictments in New York City. I'm just saying, it's not all that, all of it ain't far-fetched.
And looking like an Arab. And then they bombed the Twin Towers. Okay, so my problem is, I'm here to expose each and single one of them to the American public for the crimes committed on September 11th, 2001, and therefore. Okay?
Now tell me though, how all of that led up to Thursday night, Friday morning.
Well, I've been trying. My settlement put me in a box. Basically, I couldn't talk because I was going to be sued. So I let it be.
Okay, now he's going back to the Diddy thing. And what he's saying is, what he just said, where it's picking up right now, is his settlement put him in a box where he couldn't talk. Okay? That's the 4 million that he alleges to have won, where he sued because he caught the STD. Okay.
They've been following me, and they've had, Smart Carol has had the FBI on me, has had other agencies looking at me and spying on me, okay, because they want to set me up as an extortionist, like if I was extorting Sean for money. It's wrong.
Okay. And it's hard, I want to say, because how can we say part of what he's saying is true and part of what he's saying is not true? I don't know. I don't know the answers. What I do know is, if we look at patterns of behavior, what he just said sounds true, right? Because allegedly, the same attorneys had his case during the Cassie suit. They only dropped him when he got raided and all that came in, because they were being looked at as possible co-conspirators. Now, Cassie went through treatment and rehab. And through her legal team, reached out to him and said, hey, I went through this. I'm writing this book, my memoir. I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to sell it to keep my family up and to continue my treatment and to help live my life without trauma. If you don't want it out there, you can buy the rights to it and have it, but it'll cost you $30 million, allegedly. And the reason I say that now is because, just like he said, they were trying to set him up as an extortionist. That's the same exact verbiage and things that have been said about Cassie, Little Rod, uh, the girl that claimed that her and her boyfriend were made to do sex work, um, the Dawn girl that was in Danity Kane and Dirty Money, the Aubrey O'Day girl, and multiple other individuals, some of which still aren't named. All, every one of those lawsuits, I think there's either 11 or 12 total lawsuits now, against him or him and other individuals. In every one of those, they claim it's extortion. It's about money. They're trying to do a money grab. They're trying to get money from him. They saw that Cassie did, and now they think they can, and that might be true. Might be true. Maybe they saw Cassie did and thought he was an easy, soft target. But when you see patterns of behavior, you know, patterns with words, patterns with behavior, this guy knew that P. Diddy and Cassie were together. This guy knew that they ordered sex workers. And not only that, but paid the SES workers to do something with Cassie while Diddy watched and pleasured himself. Okay. And recorded it. He knew all that. He knew who his real attorneys was. And let's not forget, you said that about Usher. Allegedly, Usher and Chili have that same ERP. Got to be careful on that one. Allegedly. And if nobody wants to hear what I'm saying, has anybody heard what Albie Shore came out and said today? That twice he was almost unalived medically to shut him up. And that he believes that Kim Porter was purposely unalived to shut her up. And he, like I, believes that that is not her actual book that's being shopped out there. Don't waste y'all's money. They ain't enough. First of all, there's not enough pages for it to be a book. I think it's a work of fiction. And I think dude's getting ready to get sued. Okay, back to this.
Basically, what happened is Davis and Ross, which are good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No.
Hamas supporter, okay?
Right.
Basically, he's Arab, Palestinian. Okay? The Ciroc agenda, okay, is basically binge drinking poured out on a yacht. They promote binge drinking and drugs.
Gotcha.
The hip-hop agenda was laid out by Obama during his last presidencies purposely. That's why they had Tupac killed, because when they kill them, you gain fame. When people, your record sales go up, and then people...
Great. I guess y'all heard me make a mad dash to run pee and sit here and take a drink and get it caught in my throat. But hey, I paused and wanted to say something right here. I don't agree with what he just said right there. That's why I got choked, I think, on the drink because of what he said about it. But let me say this. The same companies, I want everybody to hear me really clear right here. These same companies, Vanguard, BlackRock, that invest in privately owned prison facilities are the same people that highly invest in our entertainment industry. Why do I tell you that? Well, let's see. Prisons got privatized around 2000, 2001. Around that time, 1999, 2000, we started seeing a lot of music come to the forefront. The grunge went out the way, the metal went out the way, country, and the younger, youthful, to mid 20s was hip hop and rap. Where's the new R&B soul singers? Show me one. Show me one. Mary J. Blige is older than me. Usher is close to our age. You know what I mean? Like, where the new R&B? Anyway, my point is, I said this before, you got like Iran Contra. If y'all think that it's the only time that our government has put rugs on the street to make money, to do whatever, you're crazy. That being said, think about it this way. If the most popular genre of music is advocating fornication without marriage, pew-pews, rugs, and a lifestyle that puts you on the cusp of getting picked up by the popo all the time, who benefits? The record companies, the executives that produce and own that music and pay for it, and put it together, record it, promote it, whatever. And then when the people listening to it believe their idol, favorite singer, rapper, whoever is actually living that lifestyle and try to emulate that lifestyle through the jewelry, the grills, the pew-pews, the rugs, what happens? More people get picked up, more people get incarcerated. And I showed in a previous live stream that I did how those privatized for-profit correctional institutions, no matter which level they are, county, state, federal, city, whatever, most of them have mandatory minimums. Just kind of like if I'm working at a job on a commission, I have to do 5 sales a week, and if I don't, I'm penalized somehow. The government can be sued. There can be like a $5,000, $20,000 fine per month, per day, whatever, if they don't meet those minimum standards. But that being said, there has to be a plan in place to make sure they stay full so they don't get penalized. And so that it looks like there's a necessity or a need for all that. There's a lot of other countries out there that we could look at that have a lower crime rate than we do, have a lower repeat crime rate for certain than we do, and are just as free. Just as free. Shoot, I was looking, I can't remember if it was Sweden, Norway, somewhere that like the jail is a freaking island. It's like some of these reality shows. But anyway, I'm getting left of center. all I'm trying to point out is sometimes you do have to think outside of the box. Sometimes certain things that sound a little Lulu and Looney Tunes to us might not be as crazy as we think they are. There might be a little bit of truth laced in with that lie or with that loony. Or, we never know what somebody's been through in life. Some people are affected by illnesses, physical and mental, and maybe they get reality and what they watch on TV all mixed up and think all of it's real. Kind of like in Summer's case, some people may watch this psychic and the news report and get it interpollinated, mixed all up together as being all factual. That's all I'm saying. And then again, everything he's saying might be real, and that's scary as heck. But while he's talking about this agenda, keep in mind what the videos, the music and the videos and the live performances and the appearances at the bars and the clubs and the malls that we were seeing during this time period, what they promoted, what they pushed out there, what they glorified, and what the repercussions were for the average Jane and Joe that tried to reproduce it in their life. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Listen to your lyrics and everything, and then you become famous. Okay, that's how they do it. All right. Tupac still alive.
Yeah,
he's in Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what happens is following. The hip hop agenda is an agenda to move drugs all over the United States. You need to involve DEA. They move all the dope. Okay, all the dope on private jets, which don't get screened by
customs,
by the inside the United States. Okay, they move what's called high grade powdered MDMA. They move cocaine and they move liquid cocaine in the bottles too. Okay, so they put the liquid cocaine in the.
Sorry to interrupt again, but I do need to say something. So where he just said that they use the private jets to move the rugs, because within the U.S., not outside of the borders, but within the U.S., they don't check private planes like on a commercial flight through customs and whatnot. There's no customs. Like if I'm flying from Miami to New York or, California, New York, and it's my private plane, normally you're not getting searched, the people, nor the plane, nor the luggage. So what he actually just said rings true on that point. I just wanted to point that out.
In the balls and they move. I've seen the liquid cocaine. I've drank it myself. Having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay, it's not good. He drinks all the time. All right, he calls it Gigi. That's liquid cocaine.
All right.
How do I know there's a conspiracy against Trump? Because it's in the Illuminati card deck. He should look at it for himself.
Let me bring it back to Thursday night, Friday morning. I mean, how did all of this? I think I better understand.
He just said again about the agenda, and again, it's 5.5 years ago, that pink thing that allegedly was on Diddy when he got arrested didn't exist in 2018. But math in liquid form did. I think we've discussed that in Summer's case. I know milky looking substance, and I'm assuming, and maybe somebody in the chat can tell me because I might be wrong. I really don't know. I've not ever Googled and looked it up or nothing. I'm wondering if what he's saying is true. If math can be like milk, look like milky substance, could trying to think how to say it. That the cocaine, could it look like alcohol? Like, um, I'm trying not to say the name brand, but y'all know which one that the Diddy used to rep. The just plain old vodka, I'll say. But y'all know which brand he used to rep. But I'm wondering, could it be that clear to where if somebody just looked at it, and I know some of those bottles were tinted too, so I guess that would help. I don't know. I'm just wondering, is what he said on that part possible? Because I don't know, honestly. And I would like anybody listening to comment and help me know.
And what you're saying, but what I want to know is how did that prompt you? How did that make you do what you did that night?
Well, we're getting to a point that his assassination is coming, okay? Because it's an agenda they're perpetrating on the media and the news. Example, Madonna is a client of Mercedes, Ben Mercedes. He has her go on public TV and say, oh, someone should, I have thought so many times of going up and blowing up the White House, okay? They gave her that little message. That little message is Hillary's message, okay? Because Hillary sent it to Gary Ross, and Gary Ross gave it to Mercedes. And they give it to you. Okay, now
I get all that.
you're gonna need an internet so I can show you. If I show you the website, you're just gonna go like, oh fuck.
All right, help me understand you. How old are you?
I'm 42. I've been through all my life. I've had a great life. I've settled $4.125 million.
By the way, just to those that are still here and paying attention and listening, I don't know if y'all just heard him, but what he said was there is an agenda to pew pew, unalive, rump. I believe that part may have come to fruition. I mean, isn't there another person that was a pew pewer that didn't get unalived? By the way, here's a little hidden nugget for those of you that are still here. It says there's 9 of us. For those of you here listening, here's a special nugget if you don't know. The second person that tried to pew pew through the fence, rump, the other day, the older dude that we've seen wearing the stars and stripes shirt with half his hair blue and half of it whitish gray. How many of y'all know or have heard about the fact that he's also in a BlackRock commercial? I'll wait. Anybody? Because he is. He was in the Ukraine. Says that, and I'll try to find Russell Brand, if you guys know who that is. Very intelligent, yeah, very intelligent guy. Little strange, but very intelligent. Showed a hypothesis that this dude is like a DOJ, hold on, a DOJ, CIA like asset. And I honestly don't think that. I don't think that. With what happened with the stocks, the short ops, however you call them, with preceding the Pennsylvania incident, that individual, and now this individual, I don't see him as an asset. I see as somebody might have been sent to befriend and repeatedly put something in the ear of both individuals, but I don't see them on payroll. I might be wrong. I might be out there crazy, especially the younger one. The older guy was in the Ukraine protesting. He went there to try to fight. Said it was every country's duty to help fight. And they wouldn't let him join the army there or something. So he recruits others and protests and helps any way he can or whatever. But yeah. Oh, I understand true crime. Okay, I'm going to go let the rest of this play real quick. There ain't much more to listen to of it.
Dollars with Diddy. Okay, was he scared that I was exposed?
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand you. I mean, who? I don't. Obviously, we never met.
I know.
I don't know you from Adam's Cat. I'm trying to, We'll
That's
get back. We'll get back to the
Hey,
event.
I got like 30 years ago.
Right. Where you from?
I was born in South Africa.
What town? What city?
Newcastle, the Valley of a Thousand Hills. I'm from Zululand. I'm what you call a Zulu.
Okay.
I was born there, and then my parents were Latin descent from Argentina. They escaped the military dictatorship in Argentina.
Pinochet, all that.
No, the Argentina one. Yeah, my Pinochet was a Chilean one.
Okay.
It was like a military dictatorship. I can't remember the names.
All right. How many years did you stay in South Africa?
12 years in South Africa, and I stayed 12 years in Argentina, and then I came here to the United States, and I've been here 20 years since.
Okay.
18 years.
Parents, so you got a mother and father?
Dad came to visit me, died here of cancer, and mom went back home. I think I'll be visiting with my sister here.
Okay. What year did your father pass away?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. Did that have any effect on you? I mean, what was
Not
your
really.
relationship like with your father?
Well, I suffered a little child abuse when I was a kid,
Okay.
and I believe he's not my real dad, but it's okay,
All right.
Sometimes, maybe that's what he thought. I don't know.
All right. And your mother, where's your mother right now?
She's in I think in Argentina, traveling in Europe.
Okay. What's your relationship like with her?
Distant, but distant but nice.
All right. Well, any brothers, any sisters?
Yeah, both also distant but nice.
Okay.
They both in Argentina. Well, my brother's in Argentina, my sister's in Europe with my mother.
Oh, so you don't have...
Family in the States?
Yeah.
Just my dog Bubbles. My sister.
dog?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're not married? You're single?
I'm divorced.
You're divorced?
Yeah.
Okay.
My ex-wife is Tanya Trotwine. I told her she's an attorney.
She's an attorney?
Yeah.
Where she live?
In Boca Raton.
In Boca Raton?
Yeah.
Okay. Does she know anything about this? Have you talked to anybody?
Yeah, she kind of knows. But what happened was they've been tapping me so much on my phone through intelligence. I figured out how they tap the iPhones.
Okay.
And basically it's gone all the way up. And I seen even Hillary, they've been watching me. They've been watching my
Come back to me. We'll get back into that in just a minute. Let's just stay with your family members and everything.
Sure.
I'm just wondering if you talked to your ex-wife or anybody.
I thought no, about what happened about this.
Yeah.
No, this was only me. It was premeditated to give a message to the American public, a wake-up call. It's called a wake-up call.
Uh-huh.
It's like when somebody rings a bell, for Americans to wake up. Americans like you, like me, like all of us here.
You said premeditated, so you thought about this. You thought this through.
Yeah.
How long have you been thinking about it?
It's easy. That's like
Help me understand. I don't,
Well, really,
when you say premeditated, you must have been thinking about it for a while. How long have you been thinking about doing what you did?
Well, when I say premeditated, it means that I went and did it by myself, that's all. And I didn't think about it for a while.
Okay.
I didn't plan for it.
Okay. When you say premeditated, I thought maybe you planned it out like
I ran my own
okay.
personal investigation, which I figured out myself that this is going on, and we still having issues of corruption at the highest place in our government.
I get that. Now, when you say you did your own investigation, what'd you do?
Basically, out of all the times I went and saw the attorneys, did my research online, and I found out the whole puzzle of their organization.
Okay, all right. So you didn't tell, before I ask that question, so you have an ex-wife, you got a girlfriend, you got anybody that you talk to? I'm trying to understand. You got somebody that you interact with on a daily basis.
Yes, I have a good friend, a breakfast buddy. His name is Louis David Gonzalez,
Uh-huh.
and we go to the gym every day. He has nothing to do with what happened Thursday. Though he's a witness, he's gotten shot at by them, and he's a witness that Ross came and threatened me at my house. Post-settlement. After we settled, they sent Ross, and I asked him to go see that was Ross and confirm his identity.
So Gonzalez, he came back up what you're saying about P. Diddy and Ross and all that? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And you said Gonzalez didn't know anything about what you did? You didn't talk to him before?
Nothing.
Nothing?
He knows nothing. He was actually worried. He's like, hey, what's up? And I told him, look, man, what's happening is he's trying to pull things down, but then the feds have been harassing him. The feds.
What was
They
he
have a
doing?
big file of me like this, the feds.
Uh-huh.
Since because P. Diddy and Mark Garrett have been trying to set me up and lock me up as an extortionist, asking for money. It was not so. My settlement was breached, and my settlement terms is one was called peaceful enjoyment. That means that if I went to your house or I did something, you have to pay me the full amount back.
I get all that.
So I've been going through that since like 2012. So.
All right, and Gonzalez knows about that? You talked to him about that kind of stuff?
I touched him alone because he's the only one that knows since the beginning.
Gotcha.
And then my ex-wife, she knows she saw the contract. She has a contract, a picture of the contract. Tony Trotwine. You need to call her and ask her for a copy of the settlement agreement.
Okay, all right. Where do you live at?
Now, I don't know if anybody just heard that or not, but he named his friend, who was a witness and knew everything that happened with him and Diddy and Cassie. And then he named his ex-wife, who is an attorney from Boca. I know she helped with the purchase of that real estate and stuff too, I've seen. But anyway, allegedly, in my opinion. Anyway, he said that she has a picture of the settlement contract for that lawsuit. His ex-wife, the attorney, has a picture, proof of it.
Where's your house, sir?
Really close. 80 Unit 177, just down the road from Trump's. You see, I want you to live close to Trump because I know they don't like being close to Trump. You understand what I'm saying? They don't like that. So that's why I want you Trump's.
Okay, all right. You got a roommate? You live alone? Okay, all right. How do you get around? You got a car?
Yeah,
or
Jeep.
something like that? You got a Jeep?
It looks like a military Jeep.
Okay. Where's that Jeep right now?
Police have it in custody.
Okay, all right. We'll get back to the Jeep in a minute. Tell me about your employment. What do you do for work right now?
Okay, right now I'm self-employed. I work with minerals and gemstones. With an old company called Pegasus Mineral Trading.
Okay.
That I inherited from my father. Previously, I'd been...
Well, before you go any further, do you have like an actual office someplace, or you work from home?
From home.
Okay, so you pretty much like online business?
Yeah, but I get busy 2 seasons a year. Like really busy. In September and February. So it's like 15 days non-stop each one. And then it's like just slide it.
Well, where I'm going with that is if you work from home, do you have a computer? Do you work on the telephone? How do you do business?
What I did is I threw away everything I had because...
Well, before you go, what is everything? What did you, when you say you threw away everything, what's that?
My documents, everything I had, because I know they've been trying to follow me. And I just don't want my personal info getting, you know.
I got you. No, I think I understand. But I mean, what I'm trying to understand is how can you have a business and not have a computer or work the phone?
Oh, I haven't. I just threw them away the same day. I threw it all away.
You threw what away?
My computers and everything.
Well, where do you throw them away at?
The garbage.
And your garbage?
Yeah, because they've been spying at me through that. They spy you through your computer, through your iPhone. They spy you through your TV screen, the cameras. Even if they off, they manage to do it. It's called intelligence. The CIA is available. It can do anything.
Let me make sure I understand you now. Now, when you say you throw them away, you throw them into like a dumpster, or did you just throw them away in your trash can and throw them away in the dumpster?
In my trash can.
Okay, so exactly what was it? Just like one computer?
No, everything. My documents, the settlement agreement, my computer, everything. So the TV, everything that had been surveilling me on, I took it off because I wanted them to be in the dark.
Okay.
Because they've been watching me. So now they kind of freaked out. I got spooked out. But it needed to be done. And Donald needs to do his presidency, correct? And he needs to know that these people are running him into the ground, running the country to the ground.
All right, we're going to come back to that. I'm not done with that. But again, I'm trying to help you and I'm trying to understand you, your daily routine, that kind of stuff.
But I'm very different than you. I'm very intelligent.
Okay.
We all are very intelligent.
I can see that, yeah.
The thing is, you've been fed the wrong foods and medicines which blind you, okay? Most of the...
Okay, that was kind of shade. No, that wasn't that was real shade. He said, I'm different than you. I'm intelligent. Not that you're not intelligent. That was shade. Serious shade.
The pharmaceutical industry is bogus.
I
Okay?
agree with you.
I can tell you right now, they have you popping pills and they poison you slowly so you die, okay? That's the truth. You don't need any medicine. You're strong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your body's called, the only way to come out now is called immunotherapy. That's all you need. Vitamins, immunotherapy. That's all you need.
All right.
About my work ethics, okay, previous places I worked at. In the United States. Well, do you want to know all of them or?
Oh, as much as you can tell me, help me understand,
Okay,
you said you work for Pegasus right now, right? But you threw away all your stuff.
Yeah, because it's a family business. It's really simple. It's just like I just need to use Square Cash.
So let's go back. What did you do before Pegasus?
I worked, I took a break off during the summer, I did my research. I took care of my dad, he had died. Before that, I did real estate investments with Section 8 properties, but I was started getting harassed, so because they threatened to sue me, I sold the properties. Before that, I worked for RG Electronics. I was the top producer, the top salesman of TVs in 2012, in the last quarter. Before that, I worked for a company called MA Labs, out of the Rock here in 87th. They computer components manufacturers. Before that, I worked for S&T of America, which is Micron out of Idaho. They are semiconductor artificial memory chips, DDR memory basically. Before that, I worked as a self-employed trading electronics South America. Before that, I came here as an internship as an accounting manager for a PRS resort in Key West, Florida.
Okay, all right. So pretty much all those jobs were in South Florida, in Miami area?
I was staying in South
Okay.
Florida.
Where'd you go? You college? You go?
I went to University of Salvador, which is the same school as the Pope we have right now. I started travel industry management, business and travel industry management, but then I went into the electronics sector.
Okay, all right.
That's what's been brought.
Okay, all right. Do you have anybody that you can think of that you used to work with, that you trust, anybody, any former coworkers Anybody that you would reach out to if you ever needed help at any of those jobs?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm pretty self-confident. I mean, I have my head on my shoulders and I know what I'm doing.
Okay, all right.
And I mean, I know you all think this is bogus, or you may not yet understand it. But look, I got 3 bullet holes.
I got you.
I did this for the country. Trust me, I feel great.
Okay.
And I'll do it any day. Because at least I avoid a president getting shot. And at least I avoid other dummies trying to fuck up our country. Excuse my language.
No, you're good, man.
And my people. Because my Americans are my people.
Okay.
I have issues with people that's not my people.
All right, tell me, all right, let's go back to Thursday night, Friday morning. Before you did what you did,
Well,
what was your state of mind? I mean, what
it
were you
was
thinking?
cool as ice. I went there. I knew what I was doing. It's not like I...
Just to give a little bit of perspective to those of you that are watching this, when they asked his state of mind right before, there was an interview with the I believe his name is Jose, that he was referring to, that's his friend. He said that they were standing in the kitchen, that he just fixed himself a bowl of cereal and took maybe 2 bites. And all of a sudden, he like that the dude you're looking at in the hospital gown stiffened up like stiff as a board and turned around, got dressed, walked out the door, wasn't answering questions, wasn't responding, and went and pew-pewed in the lobby at nobody. Destroyed property and hung what was a huge American flag at the reception desk and waited on the popo to get there and started pew-pewing at them and took off running. And he's at the hospital because he got shot, I think, twice in the leg. This is almost over, and then we'll go over the ASHA degree search warrants. I'm not going to read every bit of them. We're going to look at very pertinent things in them to explain some stuff I think some people might be missing, especially some evidence that was retrieved from multiple sites, as well as who all's places was searched, and a CPS statement. I think people might be a little shocked.
I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, and my point was, take down the flag and put it in the front desk and call the police, shoot the chandelier to tell them to stop getting Saudi Arabia money.
All right.
That's all, because Obama is behind him, so is Hillary. Okay, so he's got to stop taking the Arabian money because he's letting everything slide. He's letting Obama stand right behind him, and so Hillary. And he knows who they are.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who they are. So does the CIA. Maybe the Secret Service doesn't because you all work for the president, correct?
Right.
You all work for the president.
Some other people, but mainly the president, right?
Exactly. So the problem is, you're his circle, the CIA, and then on a different circle.
Well, let me rephrase that. We don't work for him. We provide a service to protect him.
Exactly. That's why I want you to talk, and I would like this to be told to Donald Trump. Tell him I'm a supporter of him. I love him. I don't hate him. I know what his issues are. He has an issue right now with him that's bugging him a lot. It's called Stormy Daniels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it bugging him so much? Why is he lying to the people? Why is Donald lying to the people about Stormy?
And how does that make you feel personally?
I know the truth. I think it's a dummy situation. I think he should put his pants up and explain to the American people what the problem is. Stormy was sent by Gorbachev and Nadi. Okay? They know each other because I know Christopher's been talking to Gorbachev for years. They've been doing my attorneys here, Laura. They've been doing business. They've been getting referrals for years after I cut the deal with Diddy. They made friends and they've been doing deals. And they threw me into the feds for conspiracy of something I had not done. I was claiming breach of settlement. Now, the way the Stormy is, it works as a father.
For context and clarity, I want everybody to see the rest of this. I am going to speed it up, so you'll be able to slow it down if you want to by going to your settings when you're doing playback on your devices. This is where a story goes left to me. But, again, there are programs out there that do trigger and activate people's minds. You know what I mean? So I just wonder, it doesn't have to be somebody in our government. There's very powerful people out there that have money to buy whatever. And can't say it don't happen, or we wouldn't have this whole situation we're looking at.
Darnold has an issue. His doctor prescribing Propecia. You know what Propecia is?
It's the skin or the hair?
Hair growth thing,
Right.
okay? So basically what happens, when you take Propecia, your dick goes limp. But limp because you're taking Propecia. He has air issues. His doctor, birthday, slipped the Propecia out, okay? So for him, Stormy's story is bad news because it's embarrassing. That's why he's going crazy with that. It's not that he's lying to the American people. He's embarrassed about Stormy's situation, okay? He paid her, and she's coming back with some bullshit stories, okay? Trying to expose, defame the president so he falls and collapses.
My dorky self been sitting here talking away and nobody can't hear me, I guarantee. Okay, so this is the documents that I'm talking about, the case information. You'll see it's got a court case number, state case number, name, Jonathan Audie, date of birth, date filed, 2018, date closed, blank, warrant type, blank, stay due date, blank, balance due, $50, assessment amount, $50, previous case, next case, blank, blank, judge assigned Q Commandant. I don't know what that means. Defense attorney Christopher DeCoste. B file location, during a box number. Arrest and agency, Miami-Dade Police. Arrest date, May 18th, 2018. Courtroom, REGJB. Justice Building Room number 3 and 4. This is the next hearing date, 10/10/24, okay? I don't know what hearing type R means, but here is a list of the charges. There's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of M2 with weapon AG bat AT, whatever that means. I think it's a government agent. And then assault, ag, fire, pew pew, burglary, assault with the pew pew, mischief, $1,000. He caused more than $1,000 in property damage, which is out with a pew pew. Is also, all these are fails, big F's. Grand theft in the third. Not sure what the other little word letters mean. And pulling a false fire alarm. That's the one he admitted to in open court, Lord. Okay. And so this goes in reverse order. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom and we'll come up to the top. It'll be quicker that way. Let me see if I can. There we go. Let's see, are we all the way down? Okay. So the first appearance, 52118, and that's your first 8 numbers here. You got your acknowledgement, your intake, your bond status, no bond is what I'm seeing. One of them has no bond, so count 8 has no bond. So whatever that means. And then it looks like 4 counts at $1,000,000 each or something ish. Okay. First appearance, attorney appointed at bond hearing, public defender, and then stay away from the National Doral in Florida. And then 522, there's 7 through 10. Another intake, prosecutor assigned, affidavit for indigent status. Okay. Then you go 23rd, arraignment hearing scheduled for 6/8/2018. And the 24th, 2 different public defenders, one on the 24th and one on the 29th. Then the first, and all this still 2018, notice of appearance, written plea of not guilty, demand for trial by jury, notice of intent to participate in discovery, defense attorney something else, info filed. This is all the 6 months. I am still doing, let's see, discovery, state's demand for defense discovery, demand for alibi, memo from state attorney, public defender, report, Elney sounding set for, okay, report, status set for, information filed, okay. There's a whole bunch of e-subpoenas filed on the 20th. Good Lord. All these people. So all these people were subpoenaed, and the date they're supposed to be is 9/17. There's a butt ton of subpoenas, so we're going to keep scrolling. All these are e-subpoenas. On the 20th of August, 2018. Okay, and here we go, 9/6. I don't even see a 9/17, and that's when the subpoenas were for. But anyway, on 9/6, report status conference set for 10/25. Motion for continuance filed on 9/6/2018. Orally set for, okay, granted step, whatever. All right, and then 10/24, amended discovery, 10/25. Status conference set for December 20th. On the 3rd of December, trial prosecutor assigned. On the 19th, trial prosecutor assigned a different one. On the 20th, report status conference now set for 10/31 or 1/31/2019. More discovery. Back to back, they set status conference times 4 from March 20th to April 25th to 6/26 to 8/22. Assigned a new prosecutor. Motion for continuance filed on 8/22 and granted to the defense. Trial hearing scheduled for 12/16/2019. And then trial hearing reset. Okay. Amended discovery. Another butt ton of those e-subpoenas. That's on 11/18. Okay. Defense got another motion for continuance on the 25th of November 2019. Okay. on 2/3/2020. Transcript of proceeding original. It says January 22nd, 2020, but it's on February. Oh, let's see. Okay. Motion 2 or 4 defendants opposed or for temporary release to house arrest. State's response to defendants opposed motion temporary house arrest. Defense reply to state's response to house arrest. Report set. It's all saying the same thing. It keeps resetting. Then evaluation set for ordered to appoint and pay EXPT for comp eval of defendant for mental illness. Okay. Okay, then right here, there's a psychological evaluation. Amendry Discovery Brady material. Report by CHFS. There was a competency hearing. And it was ordered on recommendation that the defendant is seen by psychiatrist. Okay, there's 3 evaluations he's ordered to pay for, and another one by another doctor, and this is in January of 2021. Lord have mercy. 2 amended discoveries. 2 doctors on the same day did psychological evals. Okay. So on March 2021, he was found competent. Trial date was set twice and then reset. Then a bunch of e-subpoenas again. We're still in 2021. It's still 3 years ago. And we're still seeing basically the same pattern keep repeating. I mean, there's been like 5 different psychological evaluations that I could see off the gate. 3 rounds of e-subpoenas. Good Lord, I'm still scrolling through e-subpoenas. All sent on the same day. Again. Let's see. Motion for a continuance granted. Trial hearing scheduled and trial hearing reset. So then we redo the e-subpoenas again. Jeez, that's crazy. And hold up. Okay. So they redo the e-subpoenas. Another motion continuance. Stipulations with it. Trial hearing scheduled. And guess what? Another round of e-subpoenas. Okay. Amended discovery. Another motion for continuance granted. 2 more trial date reset. Amended discovery. Another trial prosecutor assigned. Trial date set 2 different times. Another trial prosecutor assigned. intake unit assigned, a plea is set, status set, prosecutor assigned, status set, prosecutor assigned, intake unit assigned. Is that the same one that was the last intake unit assigned? Nope, that one was felony division, and this one is street something. Hold on. Okay. Make sure I get back to where I was. Okay, it's the right one. Because I just done this intake, and it's the SVI, I can't say Street Vi Initiative. Rescheduled again. They're not even doing the continuous. It's like status set, and defense attorney is given the status. And in 10/18/2023 said please set for 10/20 at 9 a.m. And then 9/19/24 it's saying that plea set for 10/10/24. And in between each, that's crazy. It's got all these status sets and rescheduled, but there's reports right here, the one by defense attorney. But that's the most recent, was 9/19. And it's got the plea set for 10/10/24. And right here is the hearing type, time, date, and all that info. Just so you know, it is the real deal. Okay. Let's see. All right, guys. It is getting late fast. So I'm actually going to say goodnight. And tomorrow, I'm going to come back and do Asia Degree and Susan Smith together, I think. I don't know if I want to do those together, but I am going to go over all the warrants with Asia Degree case. I really want to talk about some things that I think other people, when I saw them going over it and talking about them, I feel like they didn't see or didn't pay attention to or somehow missed some things. Like, there were 2 nursing homes. The dude stayed at both. Roy and Connie ain't staying together. I don't know for how long. One lives at one place, one lives at another. They also searched 2 daughters' homes. There was something about a recent statement. There was a tooth, which, I mean, it could have been a kid's baby tooth that had been saved. I'm pretty sure we all have done that. I know my parents had mine. It was in Mama's jewelry box. I found them. That's when I figured out about the tooth fairy. Let's see. And then, of course, everybody knows about the car. It was kind of hard to hide that. You was good, little Deb. Thank you for dropping in. You could be replay crew leader. Ain't no shame in that game. That way you can fast forward when I have long pauses or a potty break or forget my train of thought because I'm old, and I'll be sitting and do the same thing I do when I walk out the door to go in the kitchen. What was I going for? Don't y'all hate that? If we could just have the wisdom, if we could be 25 to 28 range again and know what we know now. Gosh. And I say that age because I wouldn't change most important milestones, my baby still be here and all that. Um, I might make some career choice difference. Anyway, I digress. Um, there was something else. There was some very specific things that were on the list that they took. And I know that a lot of people highlighted and said that they got like DNA from the mom. I think they got blood and saliva from all the pretty much mentioned family members that were searched. And according to what I read in the search warrant, that's why I want us to go over it together. That's my opinion. Allegedly, we'll look at it in writing in their entirety. Um, it actually has a list of what they took, quite extensive on one of them. It talks about statements made by individuals. Um, I believe, as I long have when it comes to Asia Degree's case, that they know way more than what they put out to the public. Um, Allegedly, this wasn't the first time looking that direction. Um, some locals, which I thought was idle gossip when I was first told about it. But then when I saw the warrant and I saw the CPS statement, and I don't want to say what it was because if I misquote or misstate it, you know, I think there could possibly be some legal ramifications that I'm not able to defend against financially. But anyway, that I'm trying to remember what I was saying. Oh, that's why I want us to look at the warrant because there's a portion of it that actually quotes from, I guess, the CPS DSS worker that did the interview. Is interviewed, I guess, or quoted in the warrants. And it's really kind of wild because I think when they say that, and a couple other statements that are made in the warrants, it kind of leads me to believe that they have and have had a working theory on Asia's case for some time. I wonder if not holding some stuff so close to the chest would have helped sooner. But you don't want to put too much out either, because then It's a fine line and it's a hard call. And I just don't think, you know, for as small of a town as Shelby is and county is, Cleveland County is, and 20 some years ago, and the fact that they've never given up. They rode the FBI's, to keep this case going. They have never given up on this baby. 20 some years, they look at it all just weekly. I think they have meetings. And I mean, for a 20 some year old case to have weekly meetings, that's a lot. A lot. Um, Nobody ever gave up on her. And I think the force with which they originally searched, first as a missing child and then as a crime. And then when they came back out this time, recently, um, and when they gave significant updates throughout, when the book bag was found, when the statements in the car was identified, they made a big push to get the information out there. Yearly interviews with the parents and detectives, police officers. Um, I just don't see how anybody could say something bad about the way they handled it and the decisions that were made. Um, there's still a lot of unanswered questions. I do think that a lot of people owe her family an apology. I've always said that with my entire heart and soul, I knew her parents were innocent. That everything they did and have done is, within the normal spectrum, I guess. And I'm not saying that even going out and tying one on and maybe, ended up with a DUI is out of the normal spectrum. Let's not put it that way. But to say and do certain things to be absent, no. Mama and Daddy was making sure the house was manned, but as I understand, they was out there knocking on doors, walking the streets, hitting the pavement, looking for their child. Couldn't tie them down, couldn't stop them, wasn't going to try. It was going to be a fight on. And they moved for 19 years. Didn't change her room, didn't move, none of that. Still got billboards up, flyers, an annual walk in remembrance, balloon releases. I mean, there's a lot that they've continued to do to keep her name out there and in the spotlight 24 years later. What criticism is there? What you gonna say? You wasn't supposed to be asleep between 2:30 and 5:30 in the morning? Hello. Ain't that when most people sleep? Especially if they got kids getting up to go to school. Ain't most kids asleep? Would you expect your youngest, your 9-year-old that don't have social media, don't have a cell phone, barely got a TV to watch? It's like the knobs and shit you got to turn, you know what I'm saying? Type ish. It ain't like it is now to just get up and mosey out the door. If it wasn't for the book bag that was packed, because the door automatically locked when it shut behind if you didn't have your key, I would have just thought she stepped outside for some reason, heard something, whatever, and got locked out if it wasn't for the backpack and the Tweety Bird purse. I think the person on Reddit, it was the PI, I think they were right though. Whatever exactly happened, I think items, shoes, wrappers, pen, pencil, marker, hair bow, book bag, shirt, book, were placed in ways that they either wouldn't turn up, or if they did, it would lead away from. Now, interesting fact that I will leave y'all with, that I noticed was revealed, because it's going to tie everything from the beginning of tonight in a nice little bow, that was revealed in the search warrant was that, and I can't remember which nursing home it was one of the two nursing homes that Roy and Connie owned, that patients from the nursing home were often driven to Broughton Hospital in Morganton, North Carolina. And remember, I told you when I worked there doing construction, I worked at the sagebrush, which is on top of the hill where her book bag was found at the bottom. Okay. I walked from Broughton to sagebrush to work, about 6 blocks, give or take, So, not only did the trucking route come from there, right down that road, but if you coming from Lincoln to the area in a certain part, like if you're coming, okay, this is what's crazy about where I live. If you're coming from one part, like the Rufferton side of Shelby, Forest City, Rufferton, Cleveland County area, you're going to go up, what is Highway 64? Some places 6470. I don't know why. It just is what it is. If you're going to Lincolnton or like the Shelby side of the county, you're going to go up 18. Like if you were at Broughton where I was working, you would come out the main entrance at the stoplight, take a right, you're on 18. You're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, at that time, you would have, back 24 years ago, you would have went through 4 stoplights. On the left would have been the Old Grace Hospital at the one intersection. I remember what else was there, if anything was right there past it. And then, right before you got to the interstate ramps, there was a gas station on one side and a gas station on the other side. You get to the stoplight and you take a left to get on I-40. Or you can stay going straight past what we used to call Hotel Row, and they still there, like 4 hotels. Used to be Days Inn, now it's something else. It's a no-tell motel. But anyway, they're on the right. And right across from there, I think there's a Waffle House there now. But right in there, in that little dip they curved out of that mountain and road, right in there is where the book bag was found. So depending on if you were at Broughton Hospital, let's say, and you were going to that nursing home, you definitely would go right past on the way there and on the way back. And depending on what part of Cleveland County you were going to, you would go right past there and right past there again. Just saying. So if you were doing patient transport to and from Broughton Hospital, that's the route you would take. If you were coming from certain parts of Cleveland County, you pass right by there in a truck and go right back past by there in a truck. Just saying. It's just interesting. Especially knowing about the statement to the CPS worker from Mr. Underhill. I'll tell you that. Wasn't no dying declaration or nothing. But I think that's what people are talking about. And they're saying that declaration, somebody giving a statement on themselves or whatever. Nope, that's not what was done. And that would have been like, I think 2001 or 2002. It was right after Asia got gone, not long after she was missing. So, no, that wouldn't have been it. It's a combination thereof. And we're going to look at it in the search warrant tomorrow, I promise. Peace, love, and light. See you guys tomorrow night. And let me know tomorrow, after we look over the warrants and discuss, if you guys want to talk about the Susan Smith case and parole or Proposition 2025. Peace, love, and light. See y'all tomorrow.